Hey guys, welcome back. So today is Wednesday, and today I have to do a lot of plant care. I've been kind of procrastinating doing some of the more tedious things like cutting off dead leaves or cleaning my leaves. So I have to do them today, so I thought I would take you along with me and to join me on a day of taking care of my plants. All right, let's get to it. Okay, let's start in this room. So usually these plants right here are on this art easel, but I thought they needed a little bit more light, so they're here temporarily. This is a peperomia obtusifolia with some crushed eggshells in the soil because I think it has a calcium deficiency. Do you see like a lot of the leaves are coming in cracked like this, even the new leaves? So I'm trying out the crushed eggshells to see if that helps, but I just watered this one, so that definitely doesn't need watering. This is a regular syngonium. I don't think this one needs watering either. I think I watered this pretty recently, but I might want to cut off this leaf. And there's another yellow one over here. This leaf. I'm not really sure why it's browning. That's weird. I hope it doesn't need PEST. I don't see any. I also do a lot of preventative spray downs with neem oil, so I really don't get pests, but I have these clear pots that are great for checking root development, but also to see if the soil is still wet or not. It's still wet, so I definitely do not need to water this one. Okay, that Brazil back there 100% needs to be watered. It's looking a little droopy. Plus, I can't remember the last time I watered it. So, okay, so this is my pothos wall. These three are from hertz.com, and I did an unboxing of them. So, they're still recovering from a lot of shipping damage. This is the neon pothos. Looks pretty good. Since these are in such small containers, they have to be watered like twice a week. I also repotted them into my mix, which is super chunky, so they do need to be watered a lot. Yeah, this needs to be watered, and that leaf needs to go. This is such an underrated plant. This is a heartleaf philodendron. It's been growing like crazy since I got it. This is a golden pothos. It hasn't grown at all since I got it, even though those two are both doing great. But yeah, that needs to be watered too. This is a Scindaptus pictus that I got fairly recently. Let's see. Let me put this down so I can check if it needs to be watered. Put my finger in. Oh, that's soaking wet. That definitely does not need to be watered. I probably watered it at the nursery right before I bought it. And then this is a Snow Queen pothos. I think this needs to be watered. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's super dry. So that definitely needs to be watered. Let's check the roots. Looking real good. Okay. And then something else that I need to do in this area is to change out all the water in these propagation jars. So these, most of what's in here is a marble queen that that unfortunately had root rot, so I ended up having to chop off most of the leaves to propagate. Honestly, these might be ready to be repotted. Let's see. This is a syngonium leaf. It's not gonna root from just this leaf, but I cut it off because the leaf was ugly. So I've just kind of been putting it in here because, oh, why not? And then this is a Snow Queen and an Enjoy pothos that weren't rooting really well in water for some reason. So I just put them in some sphagnum. And then all of these are doing really good, so it might be time to repot. I put this peperonia obtusifolium recently, so no roots yet. This I put in recently too, so no roots. And then this rubber tree leaf, it's not gonna root from this single leaf, but it was all white and I cut it off of my rubber tree because it wasn't growing, and I was hoping that if I cut it off it would start growing because it wouldn't have to divert so much energy to keep that leaf alive anymore. I don't know if it's working. This one is so weird. This one has been trying to put out new growth. Do you see like that right there? That's like a new leaf that's trying to come out, but no roots. There are no roots in here. I don't know if like the amber bottle is what's causing that, but no roots. And then this one's doing okay. So this just probably needs to be repotted soon. All right, so I'm gonna take all this into the bathroom. Okay, hey, I'm crouching down because this angle is set for the sink, but we're now in my bathroom and I've decided that I'm gonna fertilize some of these plants, probably for the last time before spring. I'm gonna use Bush Doctor's Boomerang, and then this is a pretty gentle fertilizer. It's a 2.2.3, so there's definitely very gentle, definitely more nitrogen than anything else. And then when I know that I'm going to be fertilizing like more than like just 1 or 2 plants, I have this jug. This used to be like an Arizona green tea jug, but I have the label covered up so people in the family like don't accidentally drink it. And there's a label on there that says fertilizer, and then this is a gallon, so I just mix it according to the instructions on the bottle for a gallon. But if I'm only going to be fertilizing like 1 plant, then I usually would just mix like a drop into my watering can. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to demonstrate what I do when I water with this hardly philodendron. So most of my plants are in nursery pots, so I can just take them out of the pot that they're in, put them in the sink, and then I top water the majority of my plants because they're in my arid mix, which is super chunky and super well draining. So I can top water. I used to bottom water a lot of my plants, but it doesn't really work with this mix. I feel like it just doesn't get thoroughly watered when I bottom water. So I pour water in until it's running at the bottom. Can you see that? Okay. I hold it over the sink for like maybe 5 or so seconds and then plop it back into its container. And then now all of these have been watered. And they're all gonna sit here next to the sink for maybe like 5 or so minutes because the rest of the excess water is gonna drain into the container. Do you see how there's like now excess water in there? And then we wanna dump that out. So I just let them all be for a hot sec and then I dump it out back into the sink. While they're draining, I'm gonna start cutting off some of the dead leaves that I showed you earlier. Okay, so while we are in the bathroom, let's also water this. This is a peace lily. I usually water this twice a week because it's in a super well draining mix, and peace lilies like to be more wet than dry. And then this syngonium, I think it's ready to be watered too. It's looking real dry. Okay, so these two need to be watered. So this one gets filtered water only, and I remember to do that because I have these clothespin that I stand filtered on, and then they go just straight onto the side of the pot so that I remember to give it filtered water. And then for filtered water, I have a separate container over here. So these say filtered water, and then this is usually filled with like extra drinking water, like when we pour ourselves a glass of water. If there's extra, I poured it there. Okay, so now we are at my plant corner. These plants are here not necessarily because I think they look particularly good all smushed together like this, but because usually I have a humidifier plugged in right here. My humidifier actually broke, so I just ordered a new one. It's coming in tomorrow, and I returned to the old one. And also this is the perfect window. So this is a south facing window, but it's on the right side of the room. So it gets all of the great east lighting and then mid to noon lighting, but none of that like crazy harsh west lighting. So this is the perfect corner. My plants love it in this particular corner, so I shove all of them here. I am moving a lot of these soon into a different area of the house that I'm planning on doing a video soon. And I'm putting some grow lights in, I'm putting humidifiers in so that they can thrive indoors, especially through the winter. But for today, let's see what needs to be watered. I highly doubt that this fiddle needs to be watered, but let's check. I usually just stick my hand in. Maybe I should water it. I don't know. So I used to have a moisture meter that I use a lot, but since I switched all of my plants to my mixture, the moisture meter I feel like just doesn't really work. I think I might water this rubber tree. It's just so hard when the container's this big to know like whether or not you should water them. So yeah, I didn't want to water the rubber tree. I'm definitely going to water this monstera that's putting out a new leaf. very proud of that. This is my Syngonium podophyllum albo. That's still moist, so I don't need to water that. This is a Maranta that I am going to water. This is a Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. I think that's okay. I don't think I need to water this yet. So I bought this in a Facebook group. I have an unboxing of it on my IGTV. But I realized that it came with this leaf snapped. Do you see that? So this leaf was deteriorating even though it's, you know, been in my house for a week or so. And these are the leaves. Aren't great, but they kind of stopped browning, but this one kept browning and I couldn't figure out why, and it's because that stem is snapped. So this leaf is probably going to die. I might try to like put some tape around it or something. I don't know, but yeah, that doesn't need to be watered. This is my Philodendron Birkin that I bought recently. This also does not need to be watered. This is my Hoya compacta. That definitely does not need to be watered. Okay, so this is 3 plants that I smushed into this huge planter. So I used up the piece of lay that you saw in the bathroom in this planter, but it was way too big for the piece of lay, and it wasn't very happy there. Let's see, this pearl and jade. I feel like that's still moist. Yeah, that's still moist, so I don't need to water that. This is a Hoya Crimson Queen. I don't know, should I water this? I think I'm gonna water the Hoya because you see, like, it's super veiny, so that needs to be watered. This is a Marble Queen shoved back here. That needs to be watered as well. Now on here, this is my string of things. This is my string of dolphins, which hopefully are going to bloom soon. And then this is a variegated string of hearts, which also needs to be watered. Let's see. This Crimson Princess does not need to be watered. All right, I'm gonna bring the ones that need to be watered into the bathroom. Okay, so update. I know I said I was going to water the Monstera, but I have decided that I am going to make a moss pole for it and then repot it. So I'm not actually going to water it right now. And then I just pulled in this Columnia gloriosa, which is a goldfish plant, in here because it doesn't need to be watered, but I want to cut off some of these leaves right here that are kind of just ugly, and then everything else has been watered. So I'm waiting for these to drip through, and then I'm gonna bring them back over to the bench. And then also for all the plants that are in my burlap thingy, they also usually have a plastic saucer inside where they can drain water into. Okay. Okay, so now we're in my bedroom, and then I have 2 hanging plants. One of them is attached to the ceiling, and then the other one is attached to the curtain frame. And then these I usually water about once a week. This is a Peperomia obtusifolia. I think it's the green edge or golden gate. I don't know, one of those names, but it's not the marbled one. There's a new baby leaf coming in right there, but let's see if this needs to be watered. I actually might wait a few more days before I water this one. And then this is an Enjoy Pothos. that. Yeah, it even needs to be watered. I hate watering these because they're in, you know, these hanging macrame stitch. So usually what I do is I will literally stand on this swivel chair, which is kind of dangerous, but it's okay, and then just dump water into the top until I see some spill out into the saucer. And then I just leave it, honestly. For this one, since the saucer is kind of big, sometimes I'll take like a piece of paper towel and I'll put it into the saucer so that it, you know, takes the moisture away. But for this one, honestly, I just leave it in there and I just water it less, which isn't really a problem because it's so annoying to water, so I like hardly ever water it.